You are now locked in to the Sitting Down with the Sisters podcast.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Sitting Down with the Sisters. We are your hosts. I'm Ashley.
I'm Ayo.
And I'm Temi.
Welcome back,
Ian
guys.
Sweet, sorry.
You know her already. So in today's episode, we're gonna get right into it.
Yeah.
Today's one, I feel like it's gonna be hilarious. I'm already laughing.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, if you're aware, our episode was called Day Parties, Women and Perception. And if you watch to the end, as you should, if you listen to the end,
you
as
get
you
to
should.
the very end. I'm so glad you touched that, because there's some of you we're seeing that you're not watching our videos to the very end.
Why are you not listening?
Pretending. You start it, pretend that you're going to watch it.
Because if you can watch a film on
before
Netflix,
10 minutes is up, you've left.
You've gone.
You've left us.
If you can watch a film on Netflix till the very end, you can watch our episodes. You said this year you want to support.
But even
black
more
business.
interesting than some Netflix series out there.
You said this year you want to support black businesses, but you're not supporting us. Why? What's going on?
Facts though.
You're facts. Some of you might be laughing. It's not a laughing matter.
Oh, okay. You're right.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. You're right.
You're pro-black online, but it's not translating in real life.
Wow.
And also, I'm sorry.
Come on.
It's not very wise to join a conversation and not stay to the end.
Is that what you do at school? Is that what they taught you at school?
Oh.
You start an exam, you don't finish it. Well, we know some of you didn't pass, so... Anyways.
I was waiting for that
now
last
I'm angry.
Right. Anyway.
I said this. I left you lot alone last season. This season, you will not rest.
She's back with fire and force.
You won't rest.
Okay, we've heard you, babe.
So,
thank you.
Anyways, going into it, as I was beautifully saying.
So at the end of our 2 weeks ago episode, we spoke about how the dynamics change once you're in a relationship with all this day partying and party clarty. Yeah? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, people's tone around going to the parties changes. At the beginning, they said, I like to be in the party. When they're in a relationship, my man cannot
be in the party.
My man cannot be in that party. And we want to talk about why is that? Why is there such a difference between when you're single? Obviously, there should be a difference. We're not saying there shouldn't be. We're saying why is there such a difference? And why is it only those type of events that all of a sudden changes? Why is it for other events doesn't change?
And I also kind of want to know why some people think it's such a taboo to be honest about why they go to events, and the main reason would usually be because they're trying to find a partner. Like, why is that such a bad thing to say?
So when they find it, they no longer go.
Right. An example of that is when we asked you guys what your purpose or your reason, your intention behind going to events. And a lot of them, so we put on options, and everyone literally chose every single option besides the finding a partner. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's actually your intentions. But I feel like sometimes people, even if that was the reason, people just don't feel comfortable admitting that.
Sometimes
and I kind of want to know why.
Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I know why. No one wants to be out here looking thirsty and looking hungry.
I know why.
More time if you tell people that's why you're going out, they'll say,
they're gonna look at you sideways.
Yeah. Why?
I know why. I think it's because when people are honest about the fact that they want to have a companion or want to experience some romantic love, it seems a bit either cringe or a bit simpy.
That's why people are just coming to terms with praying for the type of partner they want, because they see it as, why am I praying? Why am I going to that extent of praying for a partner? You know, it's alien to them that they have to pray about.
Let me even speak on them, because I have a viral tweet about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, read it out loud, word for word.
Yeah, I have a viral tweet. I'll tell you how many retweets I've got at the moment.
Oh my God, come on.
It's my pin tweet.
Read it out loud.
At the moment, there's 7,346 likes.
And read it word for word.
And this is what it says. The reason people think praying for a healthy, loving relationship is weird is because they associate prayer with desperation instead of communication. Let me start
You got
again.
it.
The reason people think praying for a healthy relationship is weird is because they associate prayer with desperation instead of communication with the creator. If you read, yes.
Yeah.
Right. If you saw prayer in life in general as a means of just communicating with God, you wouldn't think that praying for a partner was a desperate act.
Right.
But more time, most of us, and I don't want to say most of you because also we can probably fall into that category too. Most of us only pray when things are going wrong.
We use God as a genie.
Of course. And so now to think about how you're praying for love.
And the thing is, not necessarily praying because things are going wrong. Like, even Christians as well, they sometimes can feel, you know, it can be a bit strange, like a bit cringe praying for a partner, but they'll pray for other things like jobs, guidance.
Are you not desperate for money?
Decision making.
You're not desperate.
They'll pray for discernment.
You're not
They'll
desperate.
pray for so many different things.
But it's that one area that's like,
you're speaking.
And also, I do think as well, the way it's been navigated, well, in the church anyway, like not to even take the conversation there, but the way it's been navigated in the church, I think that's what's put people off from praying about it to begin with. Because a lot of the times when you go to church, I'm sure, like we were all raised in church, African Pentecostal to be exact. When it's altar call, they're always talking to the women. Oh, women, if you're looking for a husband, come to the front. As if it's as if the women are going to be in a relationship by themselves with other women.
Interesting.
So I think the way it's been navigated is that's low key affected people and how they approach that topic with God.
Everything is
women come forward as if it's. But anyways, that's a whole other topic. But to answer your initial question of why is it that it now changes?
Yeah, please speak
when
on
people
it, my love.
Go from single
to relationship.
Do you know what? If we're being very, very honest,
be honest, babes.
The issue is not actually the club. The issue is the behavior of people
in the club.
Yes. It's not the club itself. It's not. It's because, you know, when you're single, when you go to these events, you do a madness. Ooh. Some of you're in the toilets. You're doing whatever you're doing. You're dating someone, you have a girlfriend, but when you go to the club, they see you as single.
Right.
I object, my lord.
And you know what it is? It's I object, my lord. If you want to do those things, go for it. But don't also be in denial. And why you're now scared and you're projecting that when you are in a relationship, you're like, oh, my man can't be there or my woman can't be there. Yeah. But in the same breath also, say for example, like someone like me, that's not my scene. I'm not always there. I wouldn't necessarily be with someone that's there.
It can't be a part of your routine.
Single weekend. Yeah. Here and there, that's different. Like, say if your friends are like, oh, let's go here. Yeah. Or if your friend is celebrating their birthday, because nine times out of 10, like we're at that age now, not everyone wants to do a birthday meal. People are flying out, you're partying, you're doing whatever. Yeah. That's completely different. But me personally, because I know I'm not there every single weekend, why is the person I'm with, who's there?
Why are you a local at the club?
They know, the bouncer knows your name. When they see you, they're doing, oh yeah, you cool, my man. Why you feel
they give you the same orders?
The bartender knows your drink off by heart. They know your order. They know your name.
They're like, hi Phil.
Same again.
Welcome back to the square.
Oh, nice to see you again.
What's the name of the pub in EastEnders?
The Vic.
It's like Phil going into the Vic every week.
Every day they know you.
And it's different if both of you, that's your tag team. You said
that's what I'm saying.
You want to do double trouble, you're the club promoters together. That's wonderful. But for me, I'm so sorry.
As for me and my household.
As for me and my own house. If I know that I do not frequent the club, why is my man a frequent at that club?
Facts.
And I object, my lord. I'm joking. Okay. I don't object because a lot of good points were made. Mm-hmm. But let's take it back a notch. Mm-hmm. This conversation started because we're saying how if everyone's intention to go in clubbing is genuine, innocent, and to have a great time, why is it then when it comes to a relationship, there's a bit of a shaky answer? There's no direct answer like, yeah, my babes, like, or I can do this. Why all of a sudden does it need to be toned down, the clubbing and all these things, if it's innocent? Yeah, right? So the reason why I said I object is because I feel like not just clubbing, there are lots of things when you bind together with another human being and call yourself partners that you have to make sacrifices about.
Right.
One of them just includes going out maybe as much as you used to, or just going out in general. If you don't go out as often, then of course there might not be anything to
it's not something
do in that sense. About. But maybe if you go out more than what your partner might consider, or what you might generally want your partner to be doing, you might need to turn it down a notch. And the reason I say that is because, like Ashley said, yes, you are right in when you said the club itself is not the problem. The building is not the problem. How can it be the problem? It's the people that make the building that's the problem. The people that are in there, the behaviours. Yeah. And when in saying that, I just want to differentiate that the people that are in the club are the problems. Yes, we've acknowledged that. However, it doesn't have to be you specifically. Right. It's what's going on around you. That's the problem. So if your partner knows what goes on around you in those settings, they know the sort of environment you're in, they know that there's a big bar there, they know alcohol, people are under the influence of drugs and different things around you, they know what it could potentially do, in a sense where they know men will be there that will find you attractive. I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, of course. So no men will be there that will find you attractive, that want to talk. That alone would be an issue, like in a relationship. Not because of the way you will respond, because if you're in a relationship with someone, they should trust you enough that you're not gonna, misbehave or overdo things in that sense. So that trust is there. But just the initial them even approaching you in the first place, it's never, do you know what I mean? It's never like, no one wants that really, because there's that protective feel there. Do you know what I mean? For example, like, it's a bit off topic, but it relates to what I'm saying in the sense where if you're a type of person that don't drink or that don't take drugs or do certain things, you don't want to find yourself in that kind of environment, because not because you're tempted that you might do it, but because you just don't want to be around. You don't like it. You don't want to be around those people. Right. So that doesn't mean it's you. That doesn't mean your behavior will change or you're easily influenced in that sense. It's just the environment. Yeah. So that's where I relate. And if you guys go back to the other sort of discussion that led the episode that led to this discussion. I said something, do you remember? I said something along the lines of, okay, well, now that you're in a relationship, you don't have to go clubbing anyone. I corrected me straight away, where she was like, but why? If everyone's intention is innocent, why can't you go? That's me answering that question. Yeah. You can go, and the reason why it might seem like you shouldn't go as often is just because of the environment you're in. Yes, some people, don't get it twisted, some people are easily influenced when they do go clubbing or when they do go to these things, because they see people around them doing certain things, so they can be influenced. You're not the type that should be in a relationship, because you're not ready for all that stuff. That's a whole different conversation. But if you're strong-minded, like a lot of us women and men, hallelujah, you should feel all right going to these things, knowing that nothing can change your mind. You got babes at home, and none of these men level up.
This is interesting.
Do you think that the change should be so drastic though? That's what
because the thing is, I think it's so interesting, this discussion, because I think people are liars.
And cheaters.
They're liars. Do you know why?
Because these are the environments cheating start. This is the environment cheating exists.
That's not even what I mean. I think people are just not honest with themselves. Okay. Let me speak about it. Like, your point about people that don't partake in drinking and not taking drugs as well, don't like being in those environments. I can speak to that, because that's me. And the reason why I'm not there, as you said, it's not even because nobody can ever convince me.
Right. It's not the fact that you'll be tempted to do something you don't want to do.
I don't enjoy being in that place. So why is it that if I'm single and I don't enjoy it, of course I'm still not going to enjoy it when I'm in a relationship. And so that's why it's consistent. So for me, I feel like that's consistent. For a lot of people, they are aware that the club is probably not it's not even only club. Let's not just say club. Those type of environments are not healthy environments for most people. That's okay. This is me. Let me speak for me. I'm not speaking for the publics. For me, I personally think those environments, for the most part, are not healthy, edifying environments. And it's interesting because, okay, when you're single, it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. But then even people that would say, the club is my best place. Me, I love a day party. All of a sudden, they get into a relationship. They're like, oh no, my man, you can't see him there. And for me, it's like, it doesn't seem, for me, it doesn't seem consistent, only because why is it healthy-ish when you're single, but it's completely unhealthy when you're in a relationship? I personally think it's because people, they're aware that, okay, when they're single, more rubbish behavior can take place, and then all of a sudden you want to be in a relationship and you want serious people. But then if it's the person that you've met at this party that now you want to make a serious person, the two are not consistent and the two are not agreeing, in my opinion. It's different if, as I think Ashley touched on it earlier, you go every now and again, you go out to celebrate your friend's birthday, and then it's the same with your partner, then it makes sense. Of course it makes sense. But when it's like you are both hard party goers, then all of a sudden you want to strip them of that partying.
Yeah, no, that's the same with a lot of different factors as well, not necessarily just partying in general.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, when you get with someone, you don't expect to just completely change and do a 360.
And that's why I asked, like, should it be so drastic? So say if you okay, let me pose the question. Let me make it more in here.
Related to us, babes. Go on.
So say now if you've met someone and they like you're getting to know them and they're in the club literally like we said in our previous video, they're in the club Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday's their rest day.
Some don't even rest.
Some don't even rest. But say like basically every single weekend, every day of that weekend, they're outside.
We can be friends.
And then
go on.
And then you now get in a relationship, and then they've now cut everything off.
that means they were
They've
looking
now
for something,
cut.
I guess.
That I understand, but then at the same time, in the back of my mind, I would, and some people might even say, "Oh, it might like you're projecting, it's an insecurity." But I would slightly think like, is this actually what you want?
Is
this what you want to be doing?
Is this a performance?
How long is it gonna last for?
Is this actually the real you?
Because which one was the real
how
you?
is it one day
was it
like
the partying that you were faking?
You're on your Snapchat.
Or the fact that you're not partying anymore that
on
you're
your
faking?
Snapchat,
Which one are you faking?
On your Snapchat, you're promoting clubs. You're under comments in the shade bar every time they're doing discussion of.
Oh, I know that one. Is that Coco Q? Is that? I know that one.
Or you're on the comments of shade bar when they're asking, "Oh, is it wrong if you know you're in the club?" Blah blah blah. You're there saying, "No, it's not." Like let people live their life, do what they want to do, and then you get into a relationship. All of a sudden, it's changed.
Okay, so what if the person they're with changed them?
I don't like that.
Change, that. But then it's for the better.
What
really,
do you mean?
It's for their betterment, but you were forced into it. This is the thing about this. Oh, all of a sudden, the
I got a baby. Because do you know what? I think it can be sincere, but I think when the behavior was so loud,
that's what. Can I speak?
Tell me, it's like this. It's loud. That's where I think where I agree with Ayo. It's scary.
Can I speak?
So I'm not going to be thinking at any moment you can go like this.
And
you can kill me.
Because really and truly, let's say they break up now, their excuse would be, "Oh, I don't have a reason to stay in," and they continue. So then doesn't that question the intention originally? Like, so I mean, it's nice you're doing it for the person you're with, but how genuine were you?
There needs to be a part of you where you're doing it for yourself.
Can I speak to this, please?
Because that has to happen in relationship or not.
That's it. I'm extremely passionate about this topic. Why? Because so I was dating somebody and I remember them speaking. We were speaking and I was basically telling them what my boundaries are, what I like, blah blah blah. Wonderful. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm willing to do whatever you want." I said, "No, I don't want anybody like that."
They said that.
No, because
they fumbled the bag before even begun.
Do you know why? For some girls, wow, that's so sweet.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't even sound.
Do you know now
right.
No, but the thing is, when you're younger, I can understand how you'd like that. But
at this age, no.
Now that I'm 25, I'm realizing, wait, you're only doing that for me. As long as you're doing it for me, there's a very much big chance. Yeah, that English is not good, but it's okay. There's a very big chance that all of a sudden you'll build a resentment towards me from
for you being yourself,
for taking that part of your life away from you. I do not want to be that punching bag.
I'm getting at.
I don't want to be that. I really don't want to be that person. And so for me, if these changes you're making are not for your own betterment, it's not because of me that you're going to change. I'm sorry.
I think like you said, people need to be honest with themselves.
Be yourself.
Be honest. If you genuinely still want to be in the clubs, be honest. Let your partner know. Have that communication. If you know when you go to these clubs, you want to be doing silly behavior, express that to your communication. Express that to your partner also, so they can make the decision whether they want to be around for that.
Don't take away
whether they want to be a part of the circus, if they want to leave.
Don't take away that decision from them.
Right. Don't take away that right to make the decision.
I don't believe in forcing people to do things they don't want to do.
Right.
I've tried it before. It doesn't work. Okay? And let me tell you something. It doesn't work because as much as you have good intentions for the person and you're actually, more time you're not doing it because you're trying to control them. You believe that this is what's best for them. If someone doesn't believe that something is good for them. If that person doesn't believe that thing is good for them, there's no level of convincing.
Let people be free.
They'll stop partying. Okay, maybe they'll stop going to the party. But inside they hate you. Why would I want to be with somebody that hates me?
Imagine he's there talking to his boys like, she wants to spend time indoors again.
Or, obviously that's their friendship group. So more time they're going to be inviting him. Every week they're going to be inviting him. And he's going to have to keep saying no. And why is the no? Because of me?
He's not even going to say no because he doesn't have a genuine interest. Because he wants to go. His eyes are there. His head is there.
He's already even bought the outfit.
His spirit is already there.
He's thinking of a way to let you know, like, yeah, I'm going.
But
some will not even let you know. You'll just see on Snapchat.
But he can't. But then there's a different thing, like Ashley said, that's if it's a complete clear-cut transition.
Yeah, of course.
However,
if it's a natural
transition, that's the best probably
because his eyes are
way
opening
for that to happen.
That's different. That's not what we're talking about.
But when it's that
When it's
clear-cut,
cut.
That's scary. I'm sorry. That's very.
You were one thing last week. Today you're something else.
That one
I'm
requires
scared.
serious.
so that
talks.
might no, because the actual question is that, so which one is the real you? Because
Which
I
one
want to
is
know,
it?
because you're doing two different things and
Yes.
you're doing them very, very loudly. So which one is the
Very
real you?
loud.
And it's giving Split. If you've seen the movie Split, it's giving
Yeah.
Split. Are you Patricia today?
Tomorrow you're Peter.
Please, I want to know. I would prefer you present me as yourself.
That's
So then I can
And let people decide
if this is for me or not, or
Yeah.
if this is something. Because at the end of the day, if you come with your true self and someone decides to be with you after, at least you know you've been completely honest, you've been open, and that was their decision.
Exactly.
If things change later on in the line, so be it. But for now, you've done what you could,
That's
and
it.
there it is.
That's
like,
all.
it's crazy. But that
because
whole
people always ask that question. You know the answer already. You're asking questions that you already know the answer to.
Yes, you do.
You already know it. You're just asking for the sake of, I know some people are asking because they want to have the debate and see other people's opinions. But for some, if you're having to ask,
There's certain
for
times.
you yourself, if you're having to ask, oh, can I still do this? You probably shouldn't be
And
doing
you're in a
it.
relationship. My God.
You probably
can I still do this?
you probably shouldn't be doing it.
What kind of
because you
question is
already
that?
know
Am I your
it's an
mum?
error.
My God.
Why are you asking my permission?
Why are you asking?
Am
Why
I your
am I
mother?
telling you that you shouldn't
Did I
be
raise
doing
you?
certain
Do I control
things?
you? Do I own you? To be
No,
honest,
but did I born you?
Babe, I'm on my 5th drink. Should I have 5 more? Do I look like an Alcoholics Anonymous rep?
you know, I'd rather you tell me what you're gonna do rather than ask me. Because what do you mean
As in,
you're
at
asking?
least do it with chest.
Don't make me come across like
You're
a bully, like
asking
I'm
me.
stopping you from living your life.
That's the thing. I don't want
Don't
to
make
be a
me sound
bully.
controlling.
I don't.
Do what you want to do.
Do what you want to, and do it with chest. I prefer
it.
that.
Another thing I found, guys, that is that when people start a relationship or when they get into a relationship, like we said, naturally, if it's naturally happened and it's a gradual thing where they stop going out as much. What do you guys think of that then?
Say that again.
When it's gradual.
What do you think about, let's use girls because we can relate to girls because we're women ourselves, we have women friends. Let's say they've recently got into a relationship, so maybe they don't go out as often as they do. It's just a natural thing where they just, every now and again they'll miss events and stuff. What do you think of that?
I think that's natural. It happens.
I think that's normal.
Especially the beginning stage, because a lot of the time you're in a bubble,
Right.
Yeah.
where it's just you want to be in the person's skin. You
wanna
don't
be with
care.
your man.
Like you don't really care what's going on outside. I think that's natural.
You're not really interested in those events. Like, my man's calling me.
Also, I just want to make quick distinction because I feel like people are gonna mishear what we're saying. Obviously, like I feel like some people are gonna be very familiar with events like recess and DLT and stuff like that. So I'll use that as an example. I generally think a lot of those events are very like they are pure intention events. They're actually just events where black
Good
people have
vibes.
created the event for black people to come
Good
and enjoy
music,
themselves.
vibes.
So nobody is speaking about like those like we're not saying the concept of parties or like celebration in those ways is bad. We're just saying the behavior, like we've said it kind of before, but I just want to clarify because I think
Yeah.
some people are going to hear it like, oh, so you're saying you shouldn't party or you shouldn't. Nobody's saying
that you have to stop
I
certain
think
things.
we all
That's
know
what
what
we're
is across the line. We all know where the line is,
And I feel like people that do cross the line, they know that they're crossing the line too. So
They're
let's
well
be
aware.
completely honest about
So, yeah,
that.
Well, yeah, back to your question to me. I think it's normal. It will gradually
It happens.
happens, and as long as you have to know when you're not doing it just solely based off of, oh, I want to do this for this person, and I'm suppressing what I actually want to do.
My desires.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know
Your party
exactly?
desires.
As long as you know, okay, I actually. It's like if it's a thing like, say your friends are telling you, oh, like come to this party, you want to go, but then you're saying, oh, actually, nah, I don't think my mum will like this. Like I want to.
Okay, because that's what I was kind of getting to, because
Okay.
we not. I don't think I've actually experienced it where
that
someone has
scares me.
told me that, but I've heard of
I get
times where
scared
she's
when-
like, oh,
do
my
you
man
think that's
wouldn't want
wrong?
me.
I get
My man
scared-
wouldn't want me to do that.
I get scared
This
when
is-
girls speak like that.
No,
It
but
scares
okay,
me.
can I ask, do you guys think that's wrong? Say if, let me put it in like, because every time we've heard that, we've always heard it in a toxic
It's scary.
situation.
It depends.
Say now if like you say to your man, oh, this is where I'm going for my girls, like blah, 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 and he's expressing to you, I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel entirely comfortable with you going. Obviously, I can't force you. I can't come to your house and hold you hostage. I can't make you do anything, but I'm just letting you know, I'm expressing that I'm not comfortable with this.
And what would be the reason why he's not comfortable?
What is your...
This is why I said it depends.
I don't know what the reason is.
This is why I said it depends. That's why I haven't completely said no.
Say if there is no like clear cut reason. Say it's just something that as I know when I was single, that's like a boundary that I have, and now I'm in a relationship, I'm still enforcing that boundary that whoever I'm with, I don't want them like, I don't know what reason
it depends on the reason they give, and it depends on what you're doing that they're saying no to. Yeah. I'll be completely honest, because like you said, we've always heard it from a toxic point of view where it's like, oh, my man won't let me do it, and we think naturally, we just think, oh, he's controlling, he doesn't want her to do this. But if we take the mature side of things and think about it properly, it does depend on what you want to do, and it depends on the reason they're giving, literally. And
let's be very clear. No man that's not your boyfriend or your husband or your fiance should be telling you what to do. That's number one. Right. Number two, it is very dependent on what the thing is you're going to do. More time, I'm not going to lie to you. You yourself, if you're asking your man that question, why? I don't. No, but wait, you haven't asked him. He's expressed it.
Or if you told him that this is what you're doing.
Honestly, I it's very heavily dependent on the situation. Yeah. I've already said it in this specific episode. Yeah, I don't believe in controlling anybody anymore. I'm tired.
You said anymore?
No, because
it's a job.
It's a job. I personally think, especially if you're in a loving relationship, it shouldn't be about what you are, the do's and don'ts, what you're not allowed. Like, I think innately these are things you should know. And like, okay, yes, there might be situations that arise that might make somebody feel uncomfortable, and I think you should always have clear communication with your partner, and certain things should always be taken on board and should be listened to. But it should not be a relationship where you're asking for approval about when you're going to go out.
And you know what? I'm so glad that's been brought up, because it reminded me of just how I've always been growing up when it comes to a romantic relationship. I've always had that whole just perception of just I always that's the wrong word, I just let people be. I let people be all the time in friendships, specifically romantic relationships. I just because at the end of the day, I'm such a big believer in, you let someone be who they are, you start to notice certain patterns that you like and you don't like. And if you don't like something, it's something you can then tell them or work on or just not approve of, not tolerate or do at all. But always let people be who they are. Because at the end of the day, if you are controlling, they can notice that maybe you don't like something, and then they can start to act differently from how they usually are because of that, which is nothing wrong with. But I'd like to see how you approach situations naturally. And then if it's something I'm not okay with, that's a whole separate conversation. Just let people be who they are. I'm such a huge believer in that. 100%. Like let your babes go on that girl's holiday, let your man go on that lad's holiday, let them do it, because they're gonna do it regardless, whatever they want to do. So let them do it.
And at the end of the day, like when I say I feel like when I've said that I'm trying to control people, obviously it's not intentionally. I think you can always want the best for somebody, and you can believe in your head what is the best, but what Temi is saying is facts. People should be themselves. Let them be themselves. And the thing is, as much as you might want the best for them and you might have an opinion on something, you can express your opinion, but do not be, that means I haven't controlled anybody. Anyway, I know that obviously it's more hyperbole, but I mean more like you can express that something makes you uncomfortable. You can be communicative all that you want, but never be emotionally manipulative and never be toxic. You've expressed it, you've let it be known. Let them go on and be themselves. Never be I never believe I believe people can use you as inspiration, people can use you as a motivation to be better for themselves. Of course they can, but never to the point where they're shape shifting and it's forced and it's fake. What, like, for me, it's just like, at the end of the day, this is all going to end in tears. It's going to all end in a shambles. Facts. The green screen is going to fall down and everybody's going to be crying. So you might as well let them be themselves. Let them present who they are to you, and then love them for who they are, or choose to go. That's it. And
you too, you be yourself as like vice versa. You be yourself in relationships. Everyone be themselves. And someone will love you for you. And there's I was going to say there's someone out there for everyone. I don't know about that. But do you know what I mean? Someone would love you for you. Whether that be friendship or romantically.
Right. Beautiful thoughts? Roundup. Yeah.
Same thing.
My answer is the exact same. I don't even need to go into it.
That's it, guys.
It's the exact same. Leave, like you guys said, let people be. Like, I've realized my prayer this year has been to leave room for God to do what he wants to do in people's lives. And not what I think he needs to do, because I'm not God. I can't take matters into my own hands. It's not my job. Listen, God has no intention for us to take on God way, because that is not, if that's why some of us were tired.
Sorry.
That's why you're anxious. That's why you're stressed. That's why you're frustrated. Like Temi and I said, let people be.
If God has
Because regardless, even if you're trying to hawk over people and control their actions, if a man is gonna do a ruckus, he's gonna do it regardless of whether you're controlling him or not.
If
so
God,
let him be.
If God himself gave us free will, why are you trying to take it away from people?
That's it.
Real's like me, as I've said, I could have want the best for you, and so I'm trying to get you to do it. But then I've realized,
and you're enforcing it. Like, you just want it so bad.
At the end of the day, you're realizing, wow, this is work. And then you're also realizing, wait, they're not becoming that person. Of course not. If they don't have the right motivations, they will never become that person. You can want it as much as you want. You can even want it to the point that they've become a caricature of themselves. They're performing. But at the heart of that problem, that's why you see so many unhealthy relationships, unhealthy marriages. That man or that woman is just performing. When they're with their girls, when they're with the people that really know them, they're
somebody else.
It's a completely different situation. And then they're embarrassing you in the street. Choose wisely.
Choose peace.
Make right decisions, please.
Yeah.
Choose peace.
Once again, thank you for sitting down with the sisters. We will see you next week.
Bye.